he does not have enough time to turn that car to the left and miss the pit lane.
But if he keeps going through, there's no penalty.
I know, but Bill, he thinks it's green. So unless NASCAR says, hey, you went through a red light before you get to your pit stall, you're going to come in and you're going to pit.
That's like the official telling you to pull up right after the quarterback throws and you deliver a late hit. You're on your own at that point. You got to make your own decision. More on Matt Kenseth's problems from Dave.
They've about got it fixed to the point that it will run around the track and not cut the tires, they think. And this will be a blow to their championship standings. We saw him just in the points a few moments ago. Talking to Robbie Reiser this morning, he said, I'm in the mood to gamble today, almost like they had one race to give away. Well, they've given it away in another way today, unfortunately. And Matt will tool around for the rest of the day trying to hold his position. By the way, guys, if there's another caution for debris, it might be off the 17, but these guys have done a good job getting him back on the racetrack.
That is one ugly car right there right now.
Talking to his crew here over the weekend, as you see Kurt Busch leaving as well. They liked it last year when it rained and they only got 5 laps of practice. They said they were in a better situation there. Just having some fun with the driver. Allen on Kurt's problems.
Yeah, you see that right front fender on the 2 car. Bill, they have tried to rebuild the fender piece to give Kurt some downforce. They were just this last pit stop putting some bracing in behind it. They've also checked to make sure their brake ducts were still getting air to the brakes on the front of the car. Obviously, the design is to give Kurt what they can to charge as hard as he can. Think about all the points that they've lost in this last half hour or so. They need to try and make some of them up before the end of this race.
Hey, Alan, how's the old 2 radio right about now?
Well, it's been focused the last little while. The emotion's pretty much out of it, and they've been trying to focus on getting the car rebuilt to where they can compete. They've been trying to get the front end back in line. Kurt told them to put another set of tires on. He ran over some debris out on the racetrack. They've really been focused on trying to get the car back together. Now it's in Kurt's hands from here to the finish.
All right, we'll be watching. Lights are out on the pace car, ready to go back to green.
I just saw a jet dryer out there.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know you're having a bad day when you're behind the jet dryer. Kevin Harvick is the race leader, but Jamie McMurray has really been pushing him the last few laps, and we'll watch for fuel at the back of the 29 car. But remember, they bunched up on the last restart. Here we go again.
Harvick again with the block. Keep the spot.
Watch behind him here.
Oh, here we go.
Jeff Gordon's around.
And I don't think there's going to be a caution flag because of that. So now Jeff Gordon, even Kurt Busch is in front of Jeff now.
And I think Jeff got tagged there on that deal.
And we see Jamie McMurray once again trying to get by on the outside.
I tell you what, that's the hard way to do it, but that's all Harvick has given him is the outside. Every time Harvick comes down into a passing zone, he pulls down to the inside. So he figures if McMurray is going to pull it off, he's going to have to do it on the outside.
And Tony Stewart has moved into the 5th spot. What about Jamie Allen?
There we go. And how he got up to 2nd place, BP. They pitted under the green at lap 56. Remember, I talked at the very top of the broadcast about if there was some way you could predict when the cautions were going to come out. They caught it just right. They pitted under green at lap 53. The caution came out. It got him up to 2nd place by staying out under the yellow when everybody else pitted. Marty?
Alan, if you'll notice last time, Kevin Harvick, when he went up through the S's, did not lose fuel, at least from what we could see. And it takes Harvick a little while to get going. Remember, he cannot scrub off his tires under caution. I could see the cars weave back and forth, cleaning off their tires. Harvick cannot do that. Now, in terms of the fuel, when they left pit road, they were 4 gallons to the good, meaning they had 4 more gallons than they needed to finish this race. The question is, have they already lost 4 gallons, or they lost less than that? And we won't know that until the end of the race.
Here's Tony Stewart taking a spot from Sadler. Again, McMurray looks underneath Harvick. But, ooh, wow, that's close. So I think Stewart is going to be challenging for the lead here in a few laps.
More than 130 races since Jamie McMurray won at Charlotte. His only victory in the Nextel Cup Series.
How about Elliott Sadler? We saw him in the kitty litter earlier today. And here he is. Ooh, Tony going for 2nd.
We'll watch this race up front. Get more on Sadler from Marty.
Yeah, Bill, it seems like a week ago when Elliott Sadler brought out the very first caution of the day, doesn't it, when he was in the sand trap. A little strategy got them to the front. Lap 45, they pitted for 4 tires and fuel. Then on lap 52, fuel only. They're done pitting for the day, and they have a car that's running in the top 5. Fairly good, even though he found his way to the sand trap, much like you do on many occasions, Bill.
Thanks, Marty. I appreciate you pointing that out.
It looks like McMurray got a little bit offline there, getting up the S's. So we'll see if Stewart can close in on him and make that pass going in the interlude.
What's happening? Jamie McMurray is watching his mirror now.
Yeah.
His rearview mirror, watching that 20 car and not concentrating on the road enough.
Tell you what, though, Jamie is getting into the corners good. He's got a lot of brakes in his car right now. But I think you're right, Benny. I think he's starting to look up, figure out where Stewart is and where he's going to go when they get down in the braking zones. And when you do that, you lose the leader.
Been a disappointing season for McMurray, his first year with Roush, after making the move from Ganassi Racing. Finished 37th in the Daytona 500, 23rd at Vegas. He's 35th at Bristol, 37th at Texas. There's Jeff Gordon trying to get some spots back.
Did he lose that many spots? Take a look at what happened going down into the corner.
On board with Michael Waltrip.
Looks like Martin got into it.
In front of you, see him.
It's one of those deals, everybody's jamming down there into the corner on the restart. Not enough room.
The field goes racing by. Tony got around Jamie McMurray into second and now sets its sights on Harvick.
Stewart's definitely got the fastest car right now.
More on Tony Stewart from Allen.
Bill, you have some experience monitoring Tony Stewart's pit, right?
Oh, yes.
What does Tony say when things are going well?
Not much.
Nothing at all in this last stretch of the race. Tony said earlier, when Greg Zipadelli was asking him about his race car, Tony came back and said, it's all right. And that was it. So here we go.
But he can be very entertaining to listen to.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he can. But not today. This has been a very low-key day on the radio for Tony. Very businesslike, especially now that he's trying to get by Kevin Harvick and see if he can get this win.
Well, I tell you what, Kevin Harvick has a pretty good race car. Last time by, he was a 1/10 of a second faster than Tony Stewart.
And of course, Stewart going for his 3rd straight win here at Watkins Glen. We talked earlier in the race about Mark Martin winning 3 in a row here. Tony trying to do the 3-peat at the Glen. And trying to improve his position in the championship standings as well. Stewart's chasing Kevin Harvick, and Marty is in Kevin's pit.
And Bill, you can imagine all the things Harvick's trying to do inside that race car. Watch the 20 car behind him. Make sure he's not losing too much fuel. One interesting thing that just came on the radio, they thought, don't use as much brake in the left-hand turns, because that's when he's losing all the fuel, because that's where that fuel filler nozzle is, right behind that Goodwrench word. At the beginning of that Goodwrench word is where that fuel filler nozzle is. So in the left-hand turns, use less brake. In theory, that should make less fuel spill out of the race car. Also, as always, the less brake you use, the better fuel mileage you get.
That's a great theory, but it's not being used. Trust me, Marty. You got to use all the brake you can right now if you're going to stay in front of Tony Stewart going down in these corners. So don't think he's worried about the fuel thing right now. He's just got to go. Nothing he can do about it, really, unless he wants to give up the lead.
Mark has the 3 in a row here.
Now, that last lap, Tony Stewart gained a 10th on Kevin Harvick.
Jeff Gordon also has.
Wow, he gained a lot right there. He just closed in 2 car lengths under braking.
Well, it's a left-hand turn, Harvick.
Oh, that's right. He's using less brake
to save
fuel.
fuel.
About that.
See if we can't find where Kurt Busch might be.
He is currently in the 25th position.
He's got to do a lot of work on that car. Started from the pole. tangled up in that mess in the S's.